Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Disco Elysium with me, See What He So. At the end of the last episode, we spoke to Gary here, who actually turns out had the chest armour off the man who was lynched. So now, of course, I'm wearing the fancy chest armour. I've got the gloves, because we got those from the little girl. I got the legs off the body. All in all, I'm feeling like a badass cop now. And also, we've discovered that this is Morel, the husband of the little old lady in the wheelchair back in Whirling in Rags. So we're going to have a bit of a chat with him in a second and try and get him to actually go home.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officer.
Hello. His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist. You must be Morel, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance. Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Ah, of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damned waterlock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
The waterlock is fixed, by the way. Yeah, that was me. I broke the waterlock with my motor carriage, but it's fixed now. Yeah, we've told the whole story.
We should really be getting back. Gaddy could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
And a beating for being a racist. Yeah, if you haven't seen the last episode, go watch it. This fella here, he's a big racist.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gaddy, we can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
This is a man possessed, always on the brink of some breakthrough. He won't leave if there's a sliver of hope. The great find might happen today.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind. His hands are large and weather-worn, but also used to delicate, precise work. For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him. Lena seems pretty eager for you to return. And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we've finished with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone. Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back. And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down. Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon. Won't let Lena down. Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the phasmid. I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena. Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting on record. One of our only for this century. And it's hers. She's seen it? Really? She didn't tell me that. Yes, that's how we first came to know one another. In fact, that's her story to tell, not mine. He coughs, then continues. Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious phasmidoid. Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now. Another cough into his fist at this time. His spirit may be willing, but his body might be too old to endure the rigours of the coast. Maybe you could go back to the whirling, warm up, come back to check the traps later. No. The traps need to be monitored on regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel? He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting. Tell me more about these traps. Well, he points at the cage of mesh and wiring on the ground. They may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick. Lena designed the traps. Yes, he says with some pride. More than some, he admires this about her. How do the traps work? Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out. At least that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton. So what are you using as bait? Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course, but we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects. Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm. A meat-eating stick insect. Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behaviour? What will you do if these traps don't work? They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought. A carnivorous stick insect. Seems a little bit unlikely. Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism. Not a big fan of skepticism, this one. Okay, let me ask you something else. Did you know Gary was hiding the armour? Hell no, I had no idea, and I'm still cross with him, to be honest. It's not like him, he's got his quirks, but dishonesty or disloyalty are not one of them. No, just big fat racism. Thanks, the man mutters in the distance. He doesn't dare say any more. He's still glad his friend stood up for him. So how did you become a cryptozoologist? I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both. Why not just be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too. Real? He scoffs. I know you think one is a respectable profession while the other is a superstition. Everyone does. Honestly, being a cryptozoologist trumps most of the garbage I've seen people do. My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence, and have more hope that something truly surprising might happen. And has anything truly surprising ever happened to you? I have yet to catch a cryptid, if that's what you're getting at, but I have come close. So you have never discovered a cryptid? No, very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name. Cryptid. So how many cryptids have been found? Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Shemin, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorised as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in different stages of discovery, refutation and data collection. So only 2 of 4,082 have been proven to be real. Yes, the Shotoquan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd, who is honestly quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. Most cryptids are hoaxes, or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching. I don't know what to say. That's a small number of discoveries. Do you know what the success rate in pharmacological research is? 0.00003% of bioreactive agents have reproducibly beneficial effects. Yet science persists in search for medicine, as we persist in our search for new species. You should probably be searching for a cure for coronavirus, mate. That would be a lot more useful this moment in time. Okay. So you're living your childhood dream out here. It's not child's play just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often. He takes the dangers and discomforts that come with his work for granted, but just imagine the unforgiving desert heat he's endured, the wetlands filled with poisonous reptiles he has crossed. Suffering will only make me stronger. Right, let's move on a little bit. Tell me about the phasmid you're looking for. Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in reeds laying traps for it. How big is this phasmid? I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid called the Megaphasmodia zoonosis is about the size of a grown man's forearm, so it leaves the conclusion up to you. What makes it so difficult to find? Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodia, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. He looks around. Awful lot of reeds around here, aren't there? Yeah, and they could just be reeds. So, what sorts of specialised techniques is the phasmid using to hide itself? It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen. Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid. Right. Ghost insect. So you're ghost hunters? No, that is precisely what we're not. We are zoological specialists, looking for an extant species of phasmid. Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all that information is based on the first-hand accounts. So no one's ever found one. Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid. Lieutenant interjects. Just out of curiosity, if there's no real proof of existence, how do you know it is real? I know it's real. It's real! It's real, damn it! The cryptozoologist says brusquely enough that even he seems taken aback by it. It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement. By which I mean, he says, gathering himself, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition. What would it be like to grasp and hold on to something you think is next to you, or just behind you, like a trace of vapour you exhaled one spring morning as a child? This is what he's searching for, a spectre. Lena said there has been a sighting of it here in Martinez. Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first incredible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for the species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore. Well, maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out. The cryptozoologist shakes his head vigorously. I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis. He means asexual reproduction. Females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for the species with a small population to survive. No special feelings in me. So what if we check the traps for you? Cryptozoology and detective work are very similar. So, where are these traps? There are 4 in total. One is to the south on this little peninsula by the boathouses there. You point south, it's very near. Another we set in Land's End to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there on your way to the old radio tower after the church. The old radio tower and a church. Some places for me to investigate then. The third is set near the canal where you crossed, by a concrete slab, a big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them, he gestures to the trap in front of him. You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just set it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe than stupid. Better safe and stupid than sorry. That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture? The pursuit of knowledge is its own justification, Kim. Is it? He doesn't look too convinced, but the small shrug indicates why not. If you think it's important, you have been right before. What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps? Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight. What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild? That's highly unlikely, officer. But in that event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. Did you hear that? Pheromones. You were right about the teenagers. So it really was the phasmid that made the teenagers make out. Oh, I doubt there's any connection there. Anyway, those pheromones will attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. It should last you about a week. Lay it on me thick. Present your arm. He douses you with the odd-smelling spray, a double helping as you present your armpit, and then gives you a satisfied nod. This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water. The lieutenant wrinkles his nose. I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious, like holy water. It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. No, not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research. He looks at the lieutenant with disdain, then puts the spray back in his pocket. I'm ready. Let's get to it. Conclude. Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling. Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and need of insistence. Finally, someone's talking sense. Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you ever have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it. If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. We'll get going. Thank you. So we're going to have a little bit of a wander. A bit of a Jane Fonda. I probably ought to equip my little carrier bag of fantasticness. Because there's probably tear and stuff on this little island that I can pick up. Along with Rael. No boat in the boathouse today. This section of the coast hasn't been used for decades. Hypno-gamma. Oversized superstar sunglasses. Oh, definitely taking that. Trap. There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring. Look around. Behind you, the ruins of a residential building rise over the reeds, shielding them from the wind. The reeds rustle confidentially. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the freshly painted facades. Nowhere for drunks and adventurous teenagers to hide. Now only the wind blows. Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them. Big surprise, Lieutenant grins. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go. Say nothing, just put the trap down. The boathouse is shoddily constructed. A strong breeze might blow it over. More rail? We'll take some of that. Hang on a minute. What's that? The boards crack dangerously as you run. Be careful. Some more rail and some plastic bottles. More plastic bottles. We gained a potent Pilsner. Some more money. More money, more money. Foul Pipo. What's that? That's clothing. Right, we're equipping the big sunglasses now. I think we'll stick with Dick Mullen's hat. As much as I like the found thing, it is inaccessible. People paid money to park here. No one would pay now. Oh my god! Look at all the bullet holes. I haven't seen any other bullet holes in the walls before somehow. Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual, even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez. Meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes. He brushes the wall with his hand. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days. It is quite a scene, the two of you standing next to the broken wall of an abandoned building, nodding along. Two officers of the law against the world, nodding in unison. It is your source of power. The bond of camaraderie between you is palpable. Not even more. The lieutenant is nodding so hard it looks like his head is about to snap off. Don't stop nodding. He's truly a professional at this. Nodding's reaching critical mass. Stay the course! Bead of sweat runs down the side of the lieutenant's face as he maintains his nodding. Just one more nod. As the lieutenant handkerchief and softly taps the sweat off his temple, a faint crack echoes through the coast. Almost snapped your neck, but I fucking got this. No pain, no gain. Phew, got lucky there. That could have resulted in a world of hurt. Alright. The lieutenant coughs abruptly. It's a good moment to stop. My neck was starting to hurt. If there's nothing more, we should get going. Why are there this many bullet holes? Oh, I failed. There's a hole in the hypothesis. Fine, okay. I need some visual calculus skill points. Visual calculus. That's that one there. A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet, no sound, no movement. 10 metres away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains. What is this? The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an order amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has a loaded rifle. Looks like this was mass execution with everyone fully armed. Look at the people against the wall. A host of men probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting at the highest level of the bullet holes. They stand facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. Ordinary people, familiar each and every one of them. Who were they? Foreign dissidents, unwashed criminals and hoi polloi, such is your belief, officer. Look at the line of soldiers. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one? Men of duty, dark duty. Who were they? Martyrs of the nation, the ardent knights, the few who had the guts to do this. Look at the person standing on the side. The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air, the lights of the muzzles flashes dancing on his face. Kim, who was in this execution? At the first, the lieutenant doesn't say a word, he just stares at the wall. I don't know, he says finally. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces. Remember what Trant Hiddleston said about the Feld? What if it was the Feld personnel when their assets were being seized by the revolutionaries? Another likely scenario. Or maybe, what about the people from the coalition, the so-called moralists? Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the last ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was the commandant, the superior giving the orders. Goodbye. Right, Kimmy boy. Let's go. See if we can't find something else to do. We can't get off the pier. We gotta go back the way we came. It's getting late. 9 PM. One more hour. And hopefully I can find my gun. So we know there's a dead person. Right, we'll find the gun person. Don't worry. Even if it takes me a bit of time. This must be the church. Interesting. Box there. To rail. Door unopenable. An old door worn by elements guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle. What is this thing anyway? It's military, a service depot of some sort. Used to service what? Probably something that is no longer there. Well, I can't open the door. So, you know what we're not going to do? I'm not going to try that because that's a red check, which means if I fail it, it's not possible to retry it. Just picked up another shirt there, didn't I? White polo shirt. Don't need it though, because you know me. I'm wearing body armour now. With each day, I become more and more hobo cop. Right, we're looking for a phasmid. Here's a phasmid. A familiar apparatus lies among the reeds. Another one of Morel's traps, weighed down by stones to keep it in place. Look round. The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something. Reach for the trap. The trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside. Another empty trap. More. How are you enjoying the cardio, Lieutenant? I'm quite enjoying it myself. Always up for a good jog. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you? He smiles and raises his collar. It's windy. Right. Yeah, because I'm good at running. And Kim's not. Cigarette butts cleaned away under a rock. A brand Teomutri. Teomutri sounds important. Someone's made a campfire here a long time ago. A rusted broken control box for the radio relay tower. Scented scarf. Got a scented scarf apparently. Don't know what I need that for. So we're 0-2 so far on the phasmid nests. We've yet to discover our there is a box though that I haven't interacted with, so I need to go do that. Apparently. We'll take the tear. Calling? Who am I calling? Pierre? Is that you, Pierre? Sounds about 100 years old. No, this is not Pierre. Who is Pierre? He's my sister's grandson. He used to visit me as a lad. Fine young man. But who are you then? A salesman of some sort? Modern goods are rubbish and I can't afford them anyhow. It's a shame what you did to our country, the woman moans, and the phone lines howl in unison with her. No, I'm a police officer. To hell with the police, to hell with you. Just keep dialing random numbers. Hello? Gerard speaking? Who is this? It's Harry. Put her on. I don't like waiting. Get away from her, I'm a cop. What the hell are you doing? You're right, Kim. This went wrong. I shouldn't have done this. You're right, you shouldn't have. I've had enough of this phone booth. just prank call people. Some woman's just been smacked up by her husband because he thought she was having an affair. Oh. The post could hide treasure inside. Oh yes, all these posts contain treasure. And cash. Lots and lots of cash. I can almost afford to spend another night at the Whirling in Rags. Providing I don't go making any more phone calls. Oh look, more stuff. Oh, come back. Come back. Sometimes he gets a little bit carried away when he's running. Why am I like a seagull? No. I'm a little bit like a seagull, therefore apparently that makes me heal my health. Come on now. Look, there's stuff to pick up over here. Detective, that you missed. Too dark to tell. Right, we're not getting into the church then, I don't think. Oh hello, there's a lady here. There's also some music playing. probably going to get me copyright flagged. It looks like a makeshift bridge. Push over. We should ask that girl on the ice what's going on here. We should indeed, Kimmy boy. And that's what we're going to do. Because we've got a bit more time to kill before we have to go hunting for the crazy batshit lady who's got my gun. Unless this is the crazy batshit lady who's got my gun. A shaggy looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat? She looks up at you distracted. I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
I've got one. I don't have to do anything. I am the law. You have to do what the law says.
Real cool. Way to abuse that power, man.
And the law says you have to wear a hat in this weather.
What kind of law says that?
The law of seasons. You'll get sick if you don't.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
Regain authority in her eyes. I failed! No! Right here on the sea ice. Girl is visibly shaken. The lieutenant is watching the scene unfold before his eyes, unsure how to react. I can't believe you use obscenities like that in front of a police officer. The words are stuck in your throat. All that comes out is tears pouring down your face. It's kept her eyes trained on her wires, waiting for the lecture to end, but now she hears sobbing. This really isn't about the hat, is it? Life's a horror, you know. Oh, Kim wants to talk. Do you want to talk about what just happened there? What's there to talk about? Normally, I'm opposed to discussing one's feelings, especially on duty, but I think this is an exceptional case. So what do you think happened? It is possible thou couldn't persuade the lieutenant 'twas all part of thy unorthodox method, but can now persuade thyself. A crygasm? I'm okay now? Believe in thyself, my liege, 'twas all a clever ruse. Don't worry, Kim, it was all a rose. Wink at Kim. Yes, a clever ruse, I see. You don't. But you will. Even so, in the future, could you please refrain from emoting too much on duty? The quasi-legal status of the RCM means we need to project strength twice as consistently as any other police force in the world. Okay, I'll control my emotions. Good. Controlling your emotions sounds good. Glad to hear it was minor. Can you go on? Absolutely. Superstars always get back up and try again. Then let's go. Let's talk to the girl again.
So, like, seriously, what's eating you, man?
What's eating me, man? I'll tell you what's eating me. It's people not wearing hats on ice. Her hair is dyed blonde with dark roots showing, and she wears thick black eyeliner. Pretty, there's a manliness to her, a coarseness. What's your name? Estelle. I'm not a young suitor. This is official police business. It's Berger. Very common name. Can we talk for a minute? I guess there is something that's been making my life hell. People keep putting their selfish interests ahead of the greater good. No one understands that. You got to be sake of progress. It's all very distressing. What are you doing out here in the cold? Recording, I guess. And what is it you're recording exactly? I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound. She scratches her forehead. What happened to the old headphones? Wait, what happened to the headphones? My boyfriend sold them. What for? I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life. A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious. And what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps. The musicians in the Elysium use them for making music. They loop the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. Just nod. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be like a music place. Anyway, she rubs her shoulders and looks around. The girl is cold all of a sudden. Very cold. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer. She looks at the recording device, the thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish, very useless all of a sudden. The sharp drop in endorphins is almost visible, like a warm blanket has fallen off her shoulders. The wave of chill, the quivering jaw, indications of a drug high. She is on some kind of stimulant, amphetamine or methadone, and its effects are wearing off fast. She will begin to experience more and more valleys now and fewer peaks. Take this, you're cold. The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket. No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck. It's okay. The lieutenant backs up. He throws you a glance. Now this is where a hat would come in handy. You said it's supposed to be a music place. What is? That, she nodded towards the church. The boys think it could be a place like the Elysium or something. Stupid. It's really not going to be a Elysium, that's for sure. And who are the boys? Yeah, Andre and the guys, they're inside the tent. Oh, so there's more people. Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside? They got too much stuff crammed in there, no room. Stuff like what? Music stuff mostly, like this tape recorder, but bigger, and there's piles of it. You mean like those headphones your boyfriend sold? Yep. They were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those. Why don't you just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze? This stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter, I can take the cold. Why? Why can you take it? What is that device you have there? And the wires? It's a contact microphone. Wait, same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium. What's the Elysium? Who is this Arno guy? I get down. I grind. How does that thing work? So it's supposed to become like a club for the annotated dance music. So you want to turn the church, the old church, into a dance club. No. We're the police. I'll talk to them. Have you ever been questioned before? So what trouble have you gotten into with the police? Drinking, getting into fights, some of your lies are pretty good. Oh, I failed again. Oh. What can we do? There's a orange bum hat. I'm going to equip that and I'm going to give her the orange bum hat. Right, so I'm pleased I did that because I think if I didn't want to give her my cop hat, did I? You know, my superstar cop Dick Mullen hat, that would have been terrible for business. Question is, it's 10 PM. Are we now going to find the lady who's got my flipping gun? I don't even know where to look for her. Hang on a minute.
Put your hands where I can see them. Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands right now!
Scavenge battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
Something's very wrong with she. Wait, what should we... Easy, ma'am. Take it easy.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer under duress! Officer under duress!
Veins protrude on her forehead.
I am the police! Don't move! Don't move! Hands on your head! Suspect is armed and dangerous! Lateral vascular neck restraint. Carotid sleeper. Carotid sleeper. Critically reducing blood from passing through the neck of the suspect.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
Don't do anything that might set her off. You're the one that's whipped your gun out. And you can't flipping shoot straight because you've got boggle eyes. Good job I'm wearing my armour. I don't feel about your chances much, Kim. You'll have to go for the gun sooner. Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do. We consult. Officer in need of assistance. Need to lower that weapon. Let's just talk, all right? Tell us what's wrong. This is the place. Fascinating. Are you on drugs? I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem. You are not the police. We are the police. What's the situation? She's losing it. One twitch and there will be blood. Time to get my gun. Yay! Let's call her out on this. And I know it has no bullets. This isn't real. What is this? Police guns always have bullets. Why did you sell me this? Pick up your gun. Why would they cheat me like this? This limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is grinding to a halt. Tired of walking the desert, it doesn't want, feel or think anymore. Poor woman. The lieutenant holsters his pistol. We need to figure out what to do with her now. Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me. She's in a stupor, the lieutenant replies. I've seen it, God knows for how long, could be days when they get like this, but why was she like this in the first place? Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Yeah, neurodegenerative disease. Could be. Her hands were trembling and she did seem uncoordinated, but what are we going to do with her? You're not alone. We're all here. Police paraphernalia. Should we just arrest her? I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state and without the gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. I was really hoping I could give her one of those station call slips. Yeah, Titus sounds like the man for the job. I don't want to endorse the Hardy Boys' inflated sense of self-worth. They're not cops, we are. Okay, that settles it. I'll contact my station after we wrap it up for the day. They can contact the sanitarium and handle the logistic. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done. As you turn to leave, the faintest of voices comes from the woman. Please leave the radio on, she mutters. It seems like a reflex, a half-remembered sentence. Reflex to what? Being left alone? She stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and flashes. Now, maybe if you search her once more. The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under the mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? Confiscate the narcotics. As evidence, obviously. You're taking those, are you? I'm confiscating these as evidence. Sure. Pick up the RCM cap. Mine? No, it's ours, the RCM's. Lieutenant nods. It's your hat. Leave her be. Okay, so there's a woman, and she was a bit crazy, a bit mentally gone. She's firmly and definitely slipped off her cracker. So we need to report this back at Kim's car. So we'll be doing that in the next episode. I am done for this part of the series, so be sure to join me again in the next episode very soon. I've been C. What ESO. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.